The bird flu, a topic of heated debate, is it a looming threat to humanity or just a scare in the poultry world?
A highly contagious strain of avian flu is spreading to several states in the U.S. Wisconsin is the latest state to report finding H5N1, the scientific name for the avian flu, after discovering it in a commercial chicken flock. Avian flu has now been found in 15 states. Though rare, avian flu can cause serious illness in humans. It's treated with antiviral drugs like Tamiflu.
With vaccines being produced and farm workers affected, the seriousness of its transmission to humans teeters on a fine line. Join the conversation and share your views. Is the bird flu a cause for alarm or a cautionary tale of coexistence?
I think the risk today is low, and that's because when we look at the virus that is infecting birds, it doesn't have the properties yet to efficiently infect humans and then, more importantly, spread from a human to another human, okay? But the reason why we're beginning to pay very close attention is because of the sheer number of birds that have been infected. Of course, that has a dramatic impact on our food products and why we've seen prices for eggs increase dramatically over the last few months. The virus is being transmitted from wild birds, so geese that are migrating, other birds that are migrating from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere during these spring months.
The CDC is reporting a third person has now been infected with bird flu originating from sick cows. Officials are on high alert over some new symptoms present in this particular case.
Yeah, but that's because unlike the first two patients, this third person additionally contracted upper respiratory symptoms. All three of those infected had reportedly been in direct contact with cows or birds.
So to be clear, the CDC is saying this virus is still at low risk to humans.
We turn now to the growing concerns over the spread of bird flu. A third human case has now been reported in the U.S., another farm worker in Michigan. While officials say the risk to the general public remains low, work on vaccines is already underway.
Tonight, scientists are ramping up vaccine testing to prevent bird flu transmission between cows and people, as the CDC confirms a third rare human case in the U.S.
And so if you're not testing enough, we're really kind of flying blind. We don't know what we're dealing with. And there are a lot of questions that remain unanswered. Most importantly, how is the virus mutating? Is it adapting to humans and other mammals? And is it adapting in the direction where it could spread from human to human? And if it does, that's when you end up with an epidemic or pandemic. So we really need to be keeping a finger on the pulse, so to speak, and we're not doing that right now.
So for people who are watching how this might affect them, what's your advice?
Well, I think the main thing for the general public is do not drink raw milk. We have seen evidence of the virus, dead virus, in pasteurized milk.
What does dead virus mean?
So in other words, it's not going to make you sick. It's not going to infect you. So that's the whole reason we pasteurize, is to kill bacteria and viruses that could make you really sick.
As of November 28th, more than 52.4 million birds across the United States have died of avian influenza, according to the Center for Disease and Prevention. This outbreak is the deadliest in history, surpassing the 2015 outbreak that killed 50.5 million birds. Avian flu is a disease of birds, which occurs when they are infected with avian influenza type A viruses.
Another wave of the bird flu has now hit Iowa, and it recently forced a Sioux County farm to kill over 4 million chickens. Experts say food is safe, but farmers are having to make some adjustments.
You know, stepping up their biosecurity is sort of their new normal at this point. It could be a chicken flock, a turkey flock, a duck flock, you know, all those birds are equally affected by the virus.
Fairly urgent in that we have much better communication across federal agencies and state agencies, and we have action plans in place for us to be able to immediately jump as we start to see the disease peaking again because it spreads so fast. So instead of looking at all our options and choosing one, what we're saying is it's time to use a scientific approach to decision making so that we can guide those best the resources that we have.
The good news is the virus doesn't appear to be able to replicate in human cells very effectively. But we've seen cases now, as you just outlined, the virus getting into mink, And there's likely mink-to-mink transmission that have occurred in the situation that we've seen in Spain. And we see the virus spreading to other mammals as well. This is alarming because what we're afraid is that the virus might start changing. It might undergo acquiring different substitutions that enable better replication in these mammals. And we're afraid that some of those same substitutions might enable the virus then to attach to human cells more effectively.
So what do you make of all this? Leave a comment and join the conversation. Thanks for watching.